This is a Seed World podcast. Hi, this is Mark Zinkowitz. I recently attended the meeting of the National Association of Plant Breeders held in Greenville, South Carolina. I sat down with a couple of the George Washington Carver Scholars. Formerly known as the NAPB Diversity Scholarship, the goal of this scholarship is to support undergraduate and early graduate students belonging to historically underrepresented groups from the United States in their plant breeding careers. Focusing on early career students will encourage their success in plant breeding in the long term. I sat down with Habib Akinmade from the University of Florida. He works with Cowpea germplasm. We talked about his chosen area of research and why the George Washington Carver Scholarship is so important for him. Enjoy our chat.
Okay, my name is Habib Akinmade. I'm originally from Nigeria, but I represent the University of Florida currently, and I'm doing my Ph.D. in cowpea breeding, or in plant breeding, and my focus is on cowpea.
And why did you pick cowpea?
Okay, cowpea is, in Africa, cowpea is what we call the poor man's meat, because it provides a lot of protein for poor people that cannot afford meat itself. And then because cowpea is a multi-purpose crop that helps, humans can feed on it, can be used for forages and helps the soil. And it's a chief staple crop in Africa. And when I realized that southeastern US also have a lot of things that they do with cowpea, I got intrigued to come here and start my PhD in cowpea breeding. Also, I have experience breeding cowpea in my first master's. I did my first master's in Nigeria, and I worked with a diverse panel, and I saw the diversity in cowpea firsthand. So since then I've been quite, it piqued my interest, and I've been interested in doing some more work in cowpea.
In terms of going to school, where you're going now, and I imagine there's a lot of differences between studying at the University of Florida and studying in Africa, for example. And has there been one major difference between the two places?
Yes. A major difference is that we, in the University of Florida, I realized that we are connected. I'm saying we now because I'm part of the University of Florida. We are connected to the end users, the growers. So usually the way I was taught in Nigeria, in my at the University of Ibadan, which is a great university, but it's like we bring all of us together, teach us the breeding methods, and we just learn about breeding, about science. We did practicals too, but I didn't feel connected with the end users themselves. So I see here that breeding itself, a lot of varieties have been released, and I've met with growers, interacted with them. We had like a stakeholder mediated kind of research. So that is a huge difference for me. And then I also see that there's breeding for over 30 crops in UF. That's a really diverse amount of crops, which is also the difference that I've noticed in the two countries.
What made you want to get into plant breeding? Was there one thing maybe when you were a kid or something that made you kind of spark that interest in it?
Okay, when I was young, we had this cocoa farm. So because cocoa was something that most of the grandfathers now, I'll call them grandfathers now, it was something that formed the bulk of their income. The larger your cocoa farm, the higher you are placed in the society. So we had that. My father was a chief stakeholder, and as I was growing, I had to represent him at some farmers meetings, and then like some local communities where we had to like talk about the problems that we were experiencing, and then we had extension workers coming from different NGOs to help us. So sharing problems with them and then getting to see them try to provide solutions for us was something that I saw myself doing too. So, and one of the ways, as I grew up, I went to university to study agriculture, crop science, and then it started coming to me. So the connection from what I experienced in my childhood and my secondary school, we call it secondary school, following my father to represent the local, I wanted to be a problem solver for people. So, and then I found myself doing the research part now, which is something that is fulfilling for me. I'm a first generation Ph.D. student.
It's something that probably makes you feel really good. I'm sure your family's proud.
Yes, very proud.
You're a Carver Scholar.
Yes.
This year. What's the value of this scholarship for you?
First, sponsoring me to come to this conference is a big deal for me. I've made enough connections. Not enough, but I've made a lot of connections with big guns, I would call them, from the private institutions, Syngenta, Bayer. I've met other plant breeders from universities, and that alone is something that I think will help my career as I go on. I'm just starting my second year of PhD, and I'm already connecting with those who I want to end up like. And again, the Carver Scholar provided a mentor for me to help me with my career, at least for a year. Although I know that after that 1 year mentorship program, I will still be under him, getting mentored by him. So that alone, that also serves as a huge advantage for me. I had a meeting with him, although he's not here currently because he had other obligations. I had a Zoom meeting with him, and it felt like I was talking to my elder brother or my dad. So I felt that mentor-mentee relationship. It made it very informal, while still helping, asking very nice questions about my career and my personal life. So those two aspects have been great positives from the Carver Scholarship. And then I've posted my achievement as a Carver Scholar online, and I realized that the response I got kind of built a sense of responsibility and research, or sense of achievement in me, making me feel like, yeah, this is a good milestone, but I have to do more. So those three things have been what I gained from the Carver Scholarship so far.
I guess this is your first NAPB meeting?
No, my second NAPB meeting.
Did you attend last year?
Yes, I was here last year.
Okay.
Yes.
What made you want to come back? What is it about NAPB that you enjoy coming to the meetings?
Okay, because there's a focus on plant breeders. I know about the Tri-Society Conference, where we have the agronomy, the crop science, and the soil science. I know about some other conferences I've heard of, biology, CEDA, but this has like a focus on plant breeders coming together, and I am doing my PhD in plant breeding. So it feels like this is like a primary conference for me that I have to always be at. And the results shared, the presentations, I very much relate with all the statistics, the biology of the crops, and the way it is being presented. So that is something that makes plant breeding or this NAPB conference a very important one for me.
Yeah, no, it's nice to meet you, and
yes.
Look forward to possibly seeing you again next year. Thanks for sitting down with me.
Yes, thank you too for interviewing me.
For more great podcasts, videos, and articles from this year's NAPB meeting, visit seedworld.com/NAPB 2023. Thanks for listening.